Groot is one of those tanks that can do a lot of burst damage, and he can also block an insane amount of damage as well, pretty casually. It's pretty easy to get, 30k damage block in a single game. But his greatest weakness is mobility. I'm holding Ironwood wall here to try to break that line of sight between the tank and his supports. I try to initiate here because my supports are in my line of sight, but his are not. And so right now my goal is to provide space for my team and take pressure off my team and try to take that damage and space. As a tank, you have to take that space. You have to do that so that your team can excel. So you should always be in the front line. You can see me block line of sight here again from his supports. I could try to focus the support too, but again, just casually breaking line of sight as much as I can, and then going in on targets after the fact. I then choose to break this right away to try to get rid of that movement speed and that heal over time for that spider chick, and then do what you can. You do rely a lot on your supports so that you can play aggressive, but if they can match your tempo, it's 100% worth it. I find I get most value out of Ironwood Wall from playing it aggressively over defensively, but I can go over that a little bit later in the video. I noticed that I'm a little bit out of position here with my team and them pushing, so I think the highest potential value I can get is to isolate this one guy away from the team. However, my Ironwood Wall wasn't perfect and his support could get through the door, so I ended up losing this fight, but I definitely could have staggered one or potentially more of the enemies there. Starting this next fight, they're pushing up close. I won't be able to stall it. Wolverine is kind of playing by himself here, so trying to set up double walls to stagger him. I did not catch him, but this is a really good point here to hold as well if you can. Again, just trying to softly cut off line of sight and preventing their tank to back up. Just be careful not to place walls close to the objective that moves, because they will break instantly. They're all nicely grouped up in here, so always a good time to use your ultimate in there. Always be mindful of Adam Warlock ultimate. He got 2 reses off here, and now the whole team is up, and we're partially staggered. We ended up losing that fight, so I should have also backed up. I try to set up high ground here for not only myself but also my teammates as well, to be able to try to cut off the team again while also getting over shields. The Thorn Wall cooldown is so low that you can often just be super aggressive. I already have 2 charges on it again. Don't try to pop them out right away. I try to be a little bit casual, but unfortunately the wall breaks right away because of the payload, like I mentioned before. But pretty hectic fight. Try to go for the supports if you can, or walk off the tank, but it always screws up their movement. Again, blocking line of sight. Adam Warlock is forced to go around the corner to try to heal him, and he's obviously out of position. Thank you, Jeff. I don't like Wolverine because I'm Wolverine food. A little bit. I'm trying to take position here, but they're getting pretty aggressive. My main goal right here is try to force the enemy movement to a specific location while also providing space for my team to do what they need to do. I don't have a lot of cover, and I'm pulling a lot of resources for my supports, but as long as they're attacking me, then it is easier for my team to succeed in that as well. So with that, I'm still getting 40 shield every hit I make, because I'm still within the distance of my Ironwood wall here. Killing Wolverine always feels good. And then same thing, always trying to cut line of sights in the supports. And the important thing is don't get too greedy. Sometimes it pays off, but you shouldn't chase. This is a poor mistake by me. Is chasing. I ended up being out of position, and good luck. fighting a mantis. So trying to regroup with my fight, just cutting line of sight a little bit. And I still have Ironwood wall here, so I can save my teammate if he needs to, so he can get through, but I definitely don't want to cut him off. As soon as he's saved, I block it right away. I place a wall here at an angle so I can get a little bit of cover from the tank and the DPS to the left, but also provide an opportunity for me to focus the supports in the back line. Doesn't work out, and I'm taking a lot of heat, so I shift my focus to trying to isolate just the tank. That didn't go too well for me there. There are generally two ways that you can play with Ironwood wall. You can play defensively, away from the fight, but still within range of it, to get, you know, a casual 40 shields every half a second. Or you can try to make plays with it and isolate tanks or DPS or supports. I prefer to try to be more aggressive because I find that it's easier to get picks, but it depends on your playstyle and also in the moment of what you're fighting. I definitely do a little bit of both, but generally I'm more aggressive with it. And obviously, when you are more aggressive, it is a higher risk, but I think that the reward is well worth it. But you definitely get put in your place if you're not coordinated enough. You would definitely rely on your supports the most, being a tank and taking those fights, but as you can see here, between the amount of damage and damage blocked that I'm putting out, Groot can just flourish with good supports.